Welcome to another episode of our figure review series. Today we're going to be looking at Rocket Raccoon. So let's take a look.
Greetings, Earthling. I wish to learn your ways and break stuff and play with you. Well, what do you know? Another human friend to add to my fan club.
Alright. Well, this is Rocket Raccoon. He's actually one of my favorite non-flying characters. He's a ranged character, and his special attack is pretty good against the multiple targets. But where he really shines is one-on-one ranged combat. But before we can show you what he can do, let's go ahead and take a look at his skill tree. Alright, so here's Rocket Raccoon's skill tree. As you can see, it's split up into the 4 quadrants like all the others. We've mostly filled out ranged and the special attack area with a little bit for health and something kind of important for melee. Let's go ahead and take a look at the ranged first. We've got double whammy, and what this one does is from the beginning of the game, he only wields one gun. And this unlocks him a second gun, so he fires them both at the same time. Like I said, he is a ranged character, so this is kind of an important thing to unlock. After that are Cannon Fodder 1 and 2. These are really important because they add the number of bullets he can fire before his guns have to reload. And the reloading takes about a second or two, and so the less often you have to do that, the better. And in between those is a ranged attack upgrade, and what that does, it adds to the damage that you do. We unlocked all of his ranged damage upgrades. There was really only one block we didn't, and we'll get to that. The next important one is Rocket, and this allows him to charge his cannon. All ranged attackers have that. His is actually really nice. It looks really good, and it's quite powerful. We also unlocked Cannonade, and this increases the rate of fire of his guns. So once you've unlocked that and the other 3, he has 2 guns that can fire, I believe, 8 or 9 times very fast before having to reload. And then Taking Charge reduces the amount of time his charge attack occurs. That charge attack is pretty good because it's unblockable. So the sooner you can get that done for some of the more powerful bad guys, the better. And then the last range attack upgrade. For the special power section, we unlocked everything except the upgrades that speed up using the discs. I found that they charge up fine on their own, so there's no need to upgrade how fast they go. But the first thing we did unlock is his special, which is called Big Guns. It's a pretty good special move. It fires his guns in all directions, so it'll hit anything that's surrounding you, which is kind of nice. And we unlocked every single one of the damage upgrades, which are up here. The speed at which he gets his special move, and the meter upgrades themselves so he can do them more often. We didn't unlock much else. We unlocked midair recovery because every character needs midair recovery, and Rocket Blast, which is Rocket's super jump ability. He is a non-flyer, so super jump is what he gets. This will allow him to jump much higher and much farther than a normal character. We also unlocked the upgrade for that ability, which will increase how high, far, and fast he can jump. And then 1 super health boost. His skill tree only has 2. He already starts with a pretty good amount of health. On the melee side, the only thing we unlocked was Street Spike and Rocky Road. The Street Spike is something everybody can unlock. It's where you pick up the bad guy and throw it on the ground. It does a tiny bit of damage. But Rocky Road is the ability that increases the damage of his air assault, and that air assault is kind of nice if you get surrounded by bad guys, as it allows you to spread them out a little bit so you can pelt them with your gun. And now that we've looked at Rocket Raccoon's skill tree, let's take a look at what he can do. Alright, let's take a look at what he can do against a small regular bad guy. We'll go ahead and bring him out. Yay! First, his melee attacks. They're just simple. He just runs into him. He doesn't do much else. I don't even think he has a combo straight out, but we can take a look. Nope. All he has is that, which apparently doesn't even hit every time. Like I said, he's not all that great of a... There he goes. Not all that great of a melee character. If he's close, if a bad guy's close enough to the edge, you can use that to maybe knock him off. But where Rocket really shines is in his ranged. We'll throw that on. As you can see, he can throw out quite a bit of firepower at once, and it's pretty powerful. But where that really shows off well is when he's surrounded. But let's take a look at his charge real quick. That's what his charge looks like. It's actually a nice graphics, pretty powerful. It throws that powerful charge out of both guns. If you don't unlock the two guns, it would only shoot it out of the one, and it wouldn't be as powerful. And let's go take a look at what he can do against multiple creatures. Alright, let's take a look at what Rocket can do with multiple enemies. But before we do that, a real quick warning about double jump, or super jump as it's called. It can't go that high, and you can only super jump from the ground. So as you can see, I can get about that high, but that's as far as I can go. Even with the enhancement power unlocked, so don't get yourself stuck somewhere where you think, oh, I've got super jump, I can make it out. It's good, it's high, but it's not anywhere close to flying. But let's take a look at his combat abilities. Let's start with just his regular ability with just shooting. As you can see, he can shoot quite a bit and very fast, and they're quite powerful. So you can run around and make pretty quick work of all these bad guys. As you can see, they just pretty much fall quickly without being able to touch you at all. Another really nice thing Rocket has is his charge. Let's let them congregate a bit. As you can see, when it hits the bad guy, it explodes, doing damage, quite a bit of damage, to all the creatures that are near it for a good amount of time, which will take care of quite a bit of monsters very quickly if you're surrounded. Let's take a look at his air assault real quick. I gotta go ahead and make some more bad guys to do that. You see, it spreads them out pretty quick. They stay on the ground for a while, which is nice. It allows you to either shoot them and kill them, or run away. Sometimes that's what you need to do, is run. And then we'll take a quick look at his special. As you can see, the special does a burst of all the monsters surrounding, and then it does 2 more bursts, killing even more monsters. Now, when you're surrounded by bad guys, if you've got some special bar saved up, that can save you pretty quick. It's a good, powerful little special. It's not my favorite, but it's not bad. All right. With all them cleared, you see, it's pretty quick, didn't take much damage at all. But let me show you how Rocket works with a group of boss monsters. Alright, let's take a look at the boss monsters. He's a pretty powerful character. He can make quick work of the boss monsters, but you just have to be careful, because he has no melee to speak of at all. So you don't want to get stuck trying to fight these in close combat. Now, his attacks are powerful, and so they can make quick work of a boss monster without doing too much.
Give me a challenge.
You can see I really only have to use my gun on him. It doesn't take very many shots to kill the boss monsters, which is nice. There aren't a whole lot of characters out there that you can say that. There's just a few without having to use any special, any tricks, just his straight weapon, and you can make that quick a work of 4 bosses. But that also means if you use some of the tricks, like say his charge, and I missed. You gotta hit. Come on. They will actually do 2 hits of the charge and you've killed a bad guy. You've killed a boss monster, which is pretty good. The only issue is if you miss. And it is pretty easy to miss with his. You've got to be pretty spot on. But if you can hit twice in a row, you're actually hitting with 4. So it kills them pretty quick. And if they happen to be right next to each other, you can do damage to both. Which ain't bad. But let's go ahead and just make quick work of these. The charge really is better for large groups of smaller monsters than it is for the bad guys, the bigger bad guys. But let's take a look at how well his special does against boss monsters. We'll start with that one. Oh good, and more showed up. You can see the special was able to knock out, oh it looks like 2 of them. 2 boss monsters. So if you're surrounded by boss monsters because somebody really wasn't nice when creating their level, you can make quick work of them with Rocket's power. Well, that's Rocket Raccoon in a nutshell. Like I said, he has no melee capabilities to speak of, but he's really good at ranged combat, especially with boss monsters. And his special's pretty good too. His only real downfall is his inability to fly, as Super Jump really doesn't make up for that. If you learned something new today, don't forget to give the video a like. And if you have any questions about this or anything else, put them down in the comments and I'll answer them as soon as possible.